sorry to be rude, but not a voting member, then.
The phone works. Okay, okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Okay. Let's start out with roll call. Deb Twyman here. Austin Conley.
Oh, Deb, I do that. Sorry. Chair Twyman,
Here.
Commissioner Tharp. Here. Commissioner Stevens,
Here.
Commissioner Puente,
Here.
Commissioner Pierce,
Here.
and Commissioner Roche. And we have a quorum.
Okay. First, let's start out with the approval of the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to take a look at that? Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Move to approve.
No, I'll second it.
It's been moved that we approve tonight's agenda and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All opposed? Okay, agenda is approved. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from March 1st, or are there any changes to the minutes from March 1st? Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay.
Who seconded? Okay, thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Approved. All right, the only item we really have on tonight's agenda that requires our attention is discussion and action items considering recommendations for appointments to the Heritage Commission. We have 3 applicants. If there are no objections, we're going to consider these and discuss them individually. Any objections? Seeing none. Okay, first order of business would be Dwayne Stevens, who
I think I'll abstain.
who is going to abstain from this particular vote.
Might look bad.
Conflict of interest. Discussion.
I don't have any.
Okay. Seeing no discussion, I'm going to dive in and I'm going to say, Dwayne, thank you so much for agreeing to do this again. It's very much appreciated.
And for sitting in an hour-and-a-half long council meeting last night waiting for our proclamation to be read, so.
Yeah. See, I complained of that one because normally when I go to a council meeting, I did the invocation, and that was right at the first, and I could pray and leave. But not last night.
Okay.
Are we talking about Dwayne's appointment right now?
Yes, that's right, Sam.
Well, I fully support it.
Any other comments? All those in favor of recommending Dwayne, please say aye.
Can I get a first and a second, please?
Oh, sorry. May I have a first to recommend Dwayne?
Well, first.
May I have a second? Okay. Okay, all those in favor of recommending Dwayne, please say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. We recommend Dwayne. Okay, we now have, next up will be Lee Argo. Have you all had a chance to take a look at Lee Argo's application?
Here we go.
Which name? I couldn't hear. Which are we talking about?
Mr. Argo.
Okay.
Does
I
anybody
support
know Lee?
I do.
You do.
Yep.
Comments?
Just that, I think he's lived in Independence his entire life. He lives in a historic house from 1886. Great guy, really involved with his church and food pantry. Has a big interest in preserving historically significant locations and homes. So I think he'd be a great member.
Okay. Other comments? None? Okay. Do I have a motion to recommend Lee Argo?
I'll move.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we recommend Lee Argo to the City Council for his placement on the Historic Commission. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing that, motion is made and carried. Now we come to Josh, I think it's Goldner?
Goldner.
Goldner.
Okay. Anybody know Josh? I assume you do. Okay, go for it.
A lot of the same. Again, Josh has lived in Independence his whole life. Lives within the historic district. Owns a couple homes that he has redone. And again, a really good guy. I think he'd be a good fit, and he was interested.
Okay. Any other comments?
I'm supportive.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, do I have then a move that we approve and recommend Josh to the city council for appointment on the board?
I'll move.
Okay, it's been moved. Do I have a second? Seconded. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we recommend Josh Goldner to the city council for appointment to the Heritage Commission. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing none, we make the recommendation. Okay. Public comment. Noah? Any comment?
Nope. Okay.
Okay. Seeing no public comment, Heritage Commission. Any comments? Yep. Okay, seeing no Heritage Commission, staff comments.
Hey, Wendy, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yes, I don't know if the other commissioners can hear me, but I'm curious about the application process and the recruitment, whether it's kind of a passive process, or I think in some cases we do reach out to people we know, but you know, I noticed there's a notable lack of diversity on the Heritage Commission, and you know, I mean, all due respect to these applicants and anyone else, but it would be nice to have, you know, representation of, you know, racial and ethnic minorities.
And as the lone female, I'm going to second that.
Yes. Yes, I agree, Sam. We have just basically an open application process, so anyone who's interested can put in for it. They are struggling with just getting people in general to put applications in. But, you know, I have been trying to post on Facebook, and I think the city's been trying to encourage application submittals. But it's just, right now, it's just really hard to even get warm bodies. But the more we can diversify, the better, and any chance that I get an opportunity to reach out, I will do that and see what we can do.
One of my neighbors,
And I don't mean that just for the sake of it, but I think that it enriches any commission, honestly.
Yes, it absolutely does.
Just my point of view. Thank you.
I will add that one of my neighbors stopped me when I was delivering food to a different neighbor and asked about the process and said that she had applied, and yet the application wasn't forwarded. So I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, the city clerk does all of that. And if they checked off multiple boxes, they may be considered for another board or commission at the same time. But they would have to reach out to the city clerk and
Yeah.
find out what was going on. This process, sorry, go ahead.
When did she apply? Because I know I got appointed by my councilman for the street oversight back in February, and then it took a while. And
Yeah.
then the city clerk, I believe, somebody passed away or something, so there was a gap.
I'll bet you that's
So-
what happened.
Just FYI on that.
Thank you.
I had to bring mine up in person because I didn't get it online.
Okay. I will let her know that there might have been a lapse somewhere in there.
Maybe she should follow up with the city clerk.
Yeah, I will tell her that.
And I will explain that this is the first time that we've done this. We had previously just had recommendations go straight to city council. They now want the board that it affects to consider these applications and then make a recommendation to council. So this is the first time, but we will do this in the future as we have vacancies. And since we are in the process of filling all of our vacancies, then I'll go ahead and put election of officers on the next agenda so that hopefully we'll have a full commission here in person and we can go ahead and elect our officers again for this year.
And since we've kind of sort of not moved on, I just wanted to include in the minutes that we thank Austin for having, you know, been here and having been a commissioner, and we appreciate his service. And here's I'll pass it that way, little card, and I thought we'd send it to him, so. Okay, all right.
Sam, before I move on to staff, did you want to extend that invitation?
Oh, yes, I sure do. And I'm sorry I was having trouble hearing the comments just now, so, but that's on me for not showing up and doing this virtually, right?
No, that's a technical difficulty. That is not you.
Okay. Yes, I want to offer but has anyone already visited the Truman Library and seen its renovation?
Only Dwayne.
Okay. Well, he's welcome to come back again for a second tour if he wants to. So I think it would take about an hour and a half between 3:30 and 5. Again, Wednesday, June 8th. If that doesn't work, I'm flexible on the date. So anyway.
That's wonderful, Sam. Everyone is diligently writing that information down.
Okay, that's fine. Is anyone interested? At this point, maybe you need to check your calendars. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yes, I think everyone is interested.
Okay, super. Sounds good.
Sam, are you going to be at the library, will you be at the library tomorrow?
Will you be at the library tomorrow, Sam?
Yes, I am planning to be there tomorrow.
I'm going to bring a card by for Austin for you to sign, if that's okay.
She would like to bring a card by for you to sign for Austin.
Oh, sure. Oh, you mean like a thank you card or
Yeah.
something?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in some meetings, but if you want to, let's see, what time of day are you planning to come by?
I'll tell you what, I could drop it off and it'll be stamped and you can just toss it in the mail. How's that sound?
So Deb said she,
Translation.
yeah, she said that she can just have it ready to throw in the mail if you're willing to sign it and toss it in the mail.
Oh, so she'll leave it. She'll leave it there?
Yes.
That's fine. Yeah, I'd be glad to.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Wendy, would it be possible for you to talk about the Historic Preservation Month and kind of give people a heads up for that?
Yes,
Just-
that was on my comments for staff.
Good deal. Thank you. Any other comments from the commission? Wendy, you're up.
So May every year is recognition of National Historic Preservation Month. It's something the National Trust does. The city has piggybacked on their celebration each year. We always have a series of events. We like to partner with local heritage groups to do that. So we have partnered with the Truman Library, the Truman Home, with the Jackson County Historical Society, and also with the Trails, Friends of the Trails Association to have a series of events throughout the month. The listing of events is actually in the city scene for both April and May, and there's a link in May's listing. So if you know people who might be interested or you're interested, please utilize the link, and it'll give you information on all the locations, the times, and the host. And we're trying to do a little bit of a behind-the-scenes theme this year, so getting an opportunity to go into Woodlawn Cemetery, but this time we're going to tour people that you may not know very well. We're going to talk about May Wallace for the Truman Home. The Truman Library is giving a behind-the-scenes tour. You do have to RSVP. It's a small group. And then we're also giving tours of the mill office and the spring cabin and the 1859 jail. So that'll give everybody an opportunity to go into some of the buildings that we typically have closed. Staff is working very closely with some volunteers in the community to try to get the mill office restored. It is falling apart and the paint is basically keeping it together. So we'd really like this kind of last-ditch effort to do something with that mill office building. And then we also just want to highlight the spring cabin. It was restored and then COVID hit and it's been closed up ever since. So it gives people an opportunity to get out to some of the sites that they typically don't have access to. The 1859 jail is going to open up some areas that are not previously open to the public. And so we just encourage you as commissioners to try to come out, maybe do at least one event, introduce yourself while you're there and just say, hey, you know, if you like these type of events, we appreciate that you're here and we want to recognize the built environment and every opportunity that we have. Does not look like we're getting funding for the grant program that I've been trying to get for the historic district. So in lieu of that, at least this go-round, I'm going to try to start a summer workshop series. And the first talk is going to be on researching historic properties and hopefully insuring historic properties. And that's something that I would like to offer every July and August. We're going to start with just July. I think we're going to be over at the Trails Museum for that. And then we'll start our architectural walking tours again in the fall. So we'll be doing outreach at least 3 out of the 4 seasons each year. It's just unfortunate that the city doesn't have funding for this grant program. I am still hopeful that we can get even a portion of it to get it started. But it was a no-interest loan program for historic property owners. It was also an incentive to get people to designate. So I'm still hopeful that that's a program that we can adopt in the near future. But other than that, Dwayne was very, very patient to sit through about 15 to 16 public comments on the North Point development last night before we got to our preservation proclamation. So I just want to say thank you again to Dwayne. And other than that, we will be meeting in person. This is the location we meet each time. We always go from 6 to roughly 8 at the most. We just do not extend it past about 8 o'clock. This meeting tonight, it will be about 15, 20 minutes, so we'll get you in and right back out. But other than that, I just appreciate your support. It's nice to see everyone's face in 3 dimension. And we will hopefully be full up by the next June meeting. In both July and September, we're going to meet virtually because the holiday on Monday bumps council to Tuesday, which bumps us out of here. And so those 2 Thursday meetings, we will actually be going on Teams again.
Okay.
What's the July meeting, what date?
The 4th, I think, is on a Monday, so 5th, 6th, 7th should be roughly July 7th.
I'll be on vacation.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm out of state, yeah.
We may not even have a meeting if we don't have anything on the agenda.
What's
But-
the other one that's,
It's September, it's Labor Day. It's that week, so it'll be bumped to that Thursday.
So our next one is June 7th.
It should be first Tuesday?
Yeah,
Is it the 7th or the 8th?
7th.
Okay.
And then 8th would be the tour. So will the new appointees be at the June 7th meeting?
I don't know. It depends on whether or not it gets on the council agenda. We're at their mercy. So I will ask them if they would please expedite it. I'll let them know tomorrow that they were supported at this meeting. But we're completely at the mercy of the council getting it on their agenda and approving it.
have you got any updates on the jail? You know, having seen the stories in the news, it looks pretty dire. The
The-
1859 jail.
You know, they've done some work on it. They're doing fundraising on it, and the Jackson County Historical Society is just looking to still continue to fundraise. They're hoping to use this tour as an opportunity to both fundraise and raise public awareness. So
Okay.
it's been deferred maintenance for quite a while, and the physical aspects of their holdings just were not a priority for many, many years. And so now they've been focusing on that over the last few years.
It just looked really bad. Okay, any other comments, staff?
That's all for me. Thank you all for coming.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 There we go. Anybody want another apple tart?
Thank you.
Thank you all.
I might take one from that.
Oh, you may, absolutely may, and I will do you one better.